Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and it is one of my favorite times of the month. It's time for my mystery tackle box, or my MTB Slam, for the month of May. What I do, if you haven't never heard of a mystery tackle box, it is a subscription-based product, and what you do is you order it, and every month they send you a box full of tackle worth between $20 and $30. It only costs $15 a box. If you order it for a whole year, it costs like 12 something or 13 something. Anyway, so what I do here on my boat is I take this box, and instead of doing one of those unboxings, and only one of those unboxings, I do the unboxing, then I tie the lures onto my fishing rods, and I go fishing and try to catch a fish on each lure. So that's the challenge, or that's the slam. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my box right now and go through the tackle, kind of show you what's in it. And we'll go from there. Oh, we got a crankbait box, good. All right, let's get the little card out. It comes with a little card that tells you what's in the box, what everything's worth, and things like that. So the first one is a brand new bait by Castaic. It's the BD12 crankbait. BD stands for Boyd Duckett, Bassmasters Classic champion. And it dives 10 to 12 feet, okay? Oh, the lake I'm on today is I'm on Lake Greenwood in South Carolina. I've never been on this lake. I've literally been here for 15 minutes. So it should be a pretty good challenge. But looks like a pretty good bait. I like the color. Let's see, it says developed and tested by Bassmaster Classic champ Boyd Duckett. This crankbait's lifelike action and colors make it deadly on bass. Okay. The next one is a 2.5 RSC, or it's a reaction strike crankbait. It says a must-have crankbait for searching shallow water or shallow cover to deep ledges. Its 3D eyes and sound chamber are unmatched for attracting fish. And that one's worth $5.99. This one's worth $7.99, so $8, $6. This one dives from 4 to 8 feet. So I hope the fish are all over the water column today. The next one is the Vicious Ultimate Copolymer. Now I may try this out. Let me see if I got a rod that I can replace copolymer with. I'm a copolymer fan. It's very abrasion resistant and still performs a little better than monofilament, and doesn't have all the casting problems that you find with fluorocarbon. So I really am a fan of copolymer. I've been using it for 10 years, 12 years. So pretty cool. It's low stretch, super knot strength, and high sensitivity allowed anglers to fish with confidence. Yes, and if you're a beginner, I would suggest that you're listening to all these people say about how wonderful fluorocarbon is, but you look at the price and it's $20 a spool. Go for some copolymer. Inexpensive. It is a perfect beginning fisherman fishing line. So. Anyway, the next one is, and that one's worth $2.99. The next one is the Salt Bango by Charlie's Worms. Let's see. It's kind of a Cinco style bait. I got it in watermelon red and purple flake. There it is. That one's worth $1.80 a 4-pack, and this is the 4-pack. No, I'm sorry, $2 a 4-pack. A tried and true favorite, the unique texture and salt content are more durable than other stick baits on the market. Cool. All right, the next one is the Bruiser Baits Super Swimmer. I've got some of these, but these are smaller. Turn around so you can see the other side. So it's a paddle tail swim bait. It says a bite-sized offering that delivers live action with a slender body and animated tail. It excels on a swim jig, a rig, or by itself. Cool. I got some new swim bait heads that I want to try out. They're called the Shin Spin by Greenfish Tackle. It'd be pretty cool. All right, the next one is the Wacky Weedless Jig Head by VMC. It's $3 for a 2-pack. This VMC Ike approved Wacky Weedless Jig Head features an extra wide gap for wacky rig baits and an offset hook point of 3 degrees for increased hookups. Cool. we will see. We're gonna pitch some boat docks today, I guarantee you that. I know what I'm gonna be wacky rigging. All right, last but not least, the Baitmate live game fish. They've had this in the box before, I like it. Formulated to greatly enhance the scent, taste, and visual appeal of your baits and lures for harder hits and longer bites. Also available in a convenient flip and dip jar. There it is. I'm gonna put that in with the worms and the swim baits. All right, what else is in the box? We've got a sticker, of course. We've got the Dibble Digest. Now the Dibble Digest is pretty cool. A lot of guys just look past this thing, but it's got good articles in it. It talks about the contest and stuff that are in here. We got the new scratch off win game. Comes with a card. You scratch it off. You match three little symbols, and you could win. Shoot, a dang $1,700 fish finder. A 1-year subscription to Fishity. I mean, just tons of stuff. The Flambeau tackle system, which is a $40 prize, $150 reel, and oh gosh, a bunch of other stuff. So the deeper smart fish finder, you guys have seen the one that I've done a review on. Pretty neat. Talks about the stuff that's in the box, crankbaits, good articles, fishing for crappie. I mean, talks about the contest. The MTB Slam is back on. If you guys do the same thing I do, take it out on the water, catch a fish on each bait, and video it and turn it in, you could win $250 worth of tackle. So I'm all for that. All right, let me scratch this thing off and see if I won. I'm gonna die laughing if I do, because I never win anything. Nope. Oh, now that's sad. I didn't well, I got 2 crawfish. So if I would have won, I would have won the deeper smart fish finder, which I'm okay with because I've got one at home sitting on my desk. So, all right, well, let's put these on some rods and rig them up, and I'll turn it back on, show you how I rigged them, and talk to you about how I'm gonna fish today. All right, well, let's talk about how I rigged them up. First one is the BD12 crankbait. Like I said, it dives 10 to 12 feet, which will be perfect. I found some brush piles already idling over here that are in 10 to 12 feet. I rigged it on my deep diving crankbait rod, which is a Duckett 7'6" cranking rod. It what do I have? I have 12-pound test monofilament on here, a Revo SC that I've modified to make it a 5:3 to 1, or change the gears in it. It's a 5:3 to 1 gear ratio. This is a hog handle, one of the original ones. Really like it. But anyway, so that's worked really good. It's a moderate action rod. Great for deep diving crankbaits. The next one is the 2.5 RSC, the Reaction Strike crankbait. I put it on a medium moderate Fenwick Atos rod with a Fluger Supreme reel. This is a 15-pound test copolymer, Iserline copolymer. Told you guys I was a fan of copolymer. Pretty good rod. This is a let me see, 7'4" medium moderate. Oh, and that's a 5:3 to 1 gear ratio reel. Now the Salt Bango, I wacky rigged it on the wacky weedless jig head from VMC, and the Salt Bango is the Charlie's worms. You see that? Put a little O-ring on there. I have got it on a medium power 7-foot spinning Duckett spinning rod. This is an old Avion, Okuma Avion spinning reel that I've had for 100 years. 14-pound test sinking braid. Don't ask me where you get it. Somewhere in Japan. Somebody imports it for us, for this my local tackle shop. Let's see. 10-pound test leader, fluorocarbon leader. This little knot right here is the best fluorocarbon leader, fluorocarbon to braid knot I've ever seen. It's called the FG knot. If you're interested in learning how to tie it, The YouTube channel Salt Strong has it. Just do a search for FG knot. They have the best tutorial on how to tie it. I haven't had any problems with it at all. I mean, zero, and I've been fishing it for about a month and a half, so I'm happy about that knot, and I'm gonna be using it for a long, long time. Okay, and then last but not least, the Super Swimmer Junior by Bruiser Baits. Like I said, I put this on a swim bait head. This is the Greenfish Tackle Shin Spin they just came out with. I have it on a 1/2 ounce because that's the only weight I have. I need to get some lighter ones and some with smaller hooks. Probably need to do a little adjusting on that hook position, but gonna swim that around, see what happens. And that is it. Let's go take them out on the water and go fishing till I catch a fish on every one of them. I'm excited. Are you? There's one right there. He's barely hooked too. Come on, stay on. Second cast of the day. Ooh, he is barely hooked. I'm getting him in the boat. He's probably gonna come off. Oh, got him. That's one. Holy cow. Like I said, I haven't been on this lake very long. Nice little fish up shallow. A little bass. That was on the Reaction Strike crankbait. Awesome. Thank you, sir. That's one. I stopped here because it's the mouth of a major creek in the lake, and it's got a good flat that drops out into a point onto the out into the river channel. This is not a very deep lake. I think the maximum depth is, I don't know, 50 feet or something. It's 20-something miles long. Not very wide. So, now what I'm doing with this crankbait is I idled over a big brush pile on the way over here. And I'm lining up with that mark on my GPS, trying to get fairly close to it because this crankbait's not going to reach its maximum depth until it gets pretty close to the boat, or halfway to the boat. Make a long cast past the brush pile, and when you feel yourself hit it, kind of slow down a little bit. Sitting in 7 feet of water, I think I'm throwing to 15. And then it'll come up and it should tick the top of that brush pile, hopefully. That's the idea anyway. There's one right off the bat. Boy, he was shallow. Right on top of that brush pile. I mean, he was suspended above it, so this might be a spotted bass, the way it was suspended. Nope, it's largemouth. I'm gonna get him in real quick, see if I fired that school up, because there's a school of them on that brush pile. Oh, come on now, be nice to me. Too many treble hooks. Pretty good. All right. Just realized I forgot to tell you what I had this swim bait rigged on. It is a 7-foot medium heavy moderate fast action Fenwick Atos, and this is a Supreme XT, Fluger Supreme XT, 6 or 7:1 gear ratio. So should be a pretty good combination with this thing. There's one right there. Good one too. Come on, stay on. Yeah. Sweet. Some of them won't give up. Is he a spot? Spotted bass will do that. Whew, see if I can hold this up. Look at that son of a gun. All right, let's put him back. Thank you, sir. All right, now the only thing I have left is the Salt Bango. That was the Super Swimmer by Bruiser Baits, and this next one is the Salt Bango from Charlie's Worms. Oh, I got to catch one on that jig head too. All right, well, it is now the day after my MTB Slam. I did it yesterday, and it was a pretty frustrating day. I did catch those 3 fish, but you know, I don't get frustrated over a whole lot when it comes to fishing, except for the mechanics behind a bait or the design of a bait that just causes it to be virtually impossible to catch a fish with. And I'm going to explain that here in just a minute. I just got frustrated, and I didn't give up. I tried awful hard and tried and still couldn't catch the fish I needed for that. But anyway, so we'll start off with the first fish. Now, the very first fish, it was pretty cool. Second cast of the day, through come on now, through this little reaction strike. My rods are tangled up there, but anyway, threw a little reaction strike crankbait, and the fish got it, just barely got it hooked in the back, and brought it in. Pretty neat little deal. I love to be able to catch one first thing. Makes you feel good. The second one wasn't far from that, about 50, 60 yards. I pulled out onto a point that was leading into a creek, and was cranking a brush pile, threw it out, and 2 or 3 cranks down, meaning the crankbait, and this was the the BD12, the Boyd Duckett 12 by Castaic, and 2 or 3 cranks down, a fish hit it, which means that they were suspended way up and feeding up in the water column. So that told me that they were going to be shallow that day, or just gave me the idea that they could be shallow, which made me very excited, because the rest of the stuff I had to catch a fish with were things that I could fish shallow. All right, so the third one, I ran about a mile down, found another point where the river channel, the main river channel ran close to, pulled up on that point. There were some docks in shallower water, pulled up on this one dock, and I grabbed the Super Swimmer Junior by Bruiser Baits, and I put it on a shin spin little jig head. It's a swim bait head, and I leave my knots on all the time. Bugs me. Anyway, put it on this jig head, threw it along a corner, and the fish came out quite a ways to get it, which means that they were in the mood to chase. So the 2 crankbaits, this one, those 3 fish let me know that they were really willing to travel a long distance to hit a bait. So I took that into account, and the next bait was the wacky weedless jig head by VMC. This was my issue today, or yesterday. I missed probably 15 fish on it, maybe, I mean, I tried everything to get it. The problem with this bait was this big old honking jig head on this little bitty hook leaves that much space. Look at that much space for that fish to get, for the hook to penetrate the fish. Now this hook has been bent out a little bit because I was tweaking it, trying my hardest to catch one fish on this bait. 15, probably around 15 bites I missed. I bent it out. I changed the degree. I bent it out this way, trying. I put it on a medium moderate action rod so I had plenty of give so it wouldn't blow the fish's mouth open. I tried a reel hook set, made really careful hook set with the reel. I just could not get this thing to penetrate a fish, and I was about ready to lose my mind. This is a great design jig head in a smaller weight. If you're going to use a finesse Weedless wacky jig head. Do not get one with a big old honking head like that. First of all, it makes it difficult to skip it under docks. It makes it, there's just so many problems with something that big. Smaller, this one right here, I think it was a 3/16 ounce, almost a 1/4 ounce weight. Think 1/8 ounce, 16th ounce, you know, on down when you're using a wacky jig head. Or make sure that it's just a different style hook that's got a little bit more gap. This would have worked really good with a larger sized hook. Okay. I don't normally get frustrated, but this just made me irate. Now, another thing that made me irate about this is because I was trying to catch fish on the Salt Bango by Charlie's Worms, and they were biting it, and they were biting it good. I had 4 in the bag. I lost all 4 of them. Never got a fish in. And the way I'd lose them is what happens when you're wacky rigging, even with the little O-ring that I was using. It'll hit a dock, and you hit the dock just perfect, and that much weight on it slings that hook into the dock, and it comes out of your worm, and you lose your worm. It happens, and it happened to all 4 of my worms, and so I didn't catch a fish on the Salt Bango, and I didn't catch a fish on this. So it is what it is, but that's part of Mystery Tackle Box. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes it's good stuff, or most of the time it's good stuff, and but sometimes it's not so good stuff, but it's still worth it to me because I get to try new things. I've got some new crankbaits, new confidence crankbaits that I know are going to catch fish. I mean, this thing really did a good job. I wish I'd have stayed and tried to catch more fish on it, but I was more interested in getting in the next fish on the next bait. If you've never tried Mystery Tackle Box, there's a code for your very first box. It's GET499. I'm gonna put it right up here. Go check them out at mysterytacklebox.com. Sign up for a month and see if you like it. You know, I'm never totally disappointed with a box. There's always, you know, there's always the chance of getting that 1 or 2 things that just make me want to pull my hair out, but it is what it is. Well, like I always say, introduce somebody to fishing, introduce them to my videos, and let me help you teach them how to fish, and share my videos across Instagram and Facebook, and more importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish and have some fun. Thanks, take care. Guys, I was drop shotting that Z-Man finesse worm. And look what I pulled out. Holy cow. Look at that freaking toad. Oh my goodness.